The Retro Star Wars collection. Now, this is what got me back into making Lego. And I say before we do an official first video on the channel, like a review or something like that, let's take a look at some of the sets that I used to have from my childhood and the whole reason that I got back into making Lego content. Let's get it. So with the first set, we have none other than 10144, the Sandcrawler. Now this was the first set that I ended up building, and let's take a look at this, man. So this set released all the way back in 2005, retailing for $150. It was one of the more expensive sets from back then, and around 1,700 pieces made it one of the biggest sets Lego Star Wars had ever released at the time. You guys can see the detailing right here is pretty good when you think about the fact that this creation right here is 23 years old. So if we take a look at the detail, you guys can see, for 23 years old, it's actually not too bad. There's no snot techniques being used. You just build it straight up, but it does have some nice detailing on the back. The front as well, of course, it does have an opening ability, allowing your minifigures to essentially climb into the Sandcrawler. Now, one of the other coolest parts from this set is the inside right here. It's super easy to see, as all you really have to do is detach this middle section, and you guys can see a little interior. I mean, nothing too crazy, but for back then, this was all you needed, It was a spot where you could put your Jawas, stuff like that, and this is definitely still one of my favorite sets in my entire collection. So the next set that we are going to take a look at is actually one of the sets that, it doesn't have too much screen time, but in terms of what it is, I think it's a very underrated set, and that is actually 7673 Magna Guard Starfighter. So if we take a look, it released in 2008. So you guys can see the key features right here. It does have a little drop back area where you're gonna see some flick fire missiles. It also has a very nice interior. And if you guys see how the ship actually opens, I think it's one of the sleekest designs. And again, all of these sets are from like 20 years ago. And then of course the minifigures, very sought after. They're actually going for like 40 bucks each still, because you don't really see the Magna Guards too often. Very nice set right here, and honestly still one of my favorites as well. The next set, this one's crazy right here. So this is the Wookiee Catamaran, and of all the episode 3 Star Wars sets that were released, this was one of the least purchased sets because essentially you're paying for a big ass canoe and it costed $50. Now the crazy thing is this sealed today goes for 4 figures. It goes for like 1,500. It came with a nice little, side build as well. You got some printed pieces right here. But let's just take a look at why this really goes for so much. Now, unfortunately, before I do transition into it, I did sell and lose a lot of minifigures over the 20 years. So thank goodness though, we don't have the clone troopers that are 100 bucks each, but we did still manage to keep over there. I'm looking at it right now. The light up Luminara, $120 minifigure, sometimes selling for like $150. Let's take a look. So this is one of my favorite sets. This is going to be 7674, the V19 turret. This might be my favorite set behind the Sandcrawler, and it's just simply because if you grew up in the 2000s, you know that Lego, it was just different. Like, nowadays everything is so sleek. Like, if we take a look at this TIE Fighter, it's just so smooth, it's perfect, everything just works amazingly. And back then, they were really just like, they were just trying shit. Like, it was kind of like throw a dart, let's see if it hits. And this is the epitome of that. Look at this. So if you drop this back, look how flimsily it folds into this. And it's massive. Like, I'm 6 foot and this is like my whole torso right here. So I mean, just a crazy set, It retailed for $55 back in 2008, almost 500 pieces, and currently it is selling for around 100 bucks. But this is one I will never sell because for people who don't know retro Star Wars, I show them this and they're like, yeah, it's just, look at the process too. Because I'm pretty sure I built it right. You have to like, almost, you see what I'm saying? Like, they would not do that for kids nowadays. So for somebody who wants to build mocks, this set is lit. This is 7670, Hailfire Droid, and Spider Droid. Now the Spider Droid, of course, is a little outdated. Like, It doesn't even stand right. It's really tough to make it look perfect. But again, $20, almost 250 pieces, and just a perfect minifigure scaled Hailfire droid. Let's take a close up real quick. You guys can see, man, this shit would do some damage with all the missiles right there. Like, it's sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this would be so cool to build a mock with. So right here, with my cord on it, apparently, we got an ARC 170 from 21 years ago. This is crazy. So this build, actually, I'm gonna tell you guys a really funny story, just so you guys get to know me. So this was one of the first sets that my dad ever bought for me, and he got it for me on Christmas. Both my parents, I woke up, I saw the box, I was super excited. I think I must have been like four years old or something. It released back in 2005 though. Maybe I just failed with all the Technic pieces right there. But I remember I just couldn't build this for some reason. This was the one build I just struggled with. So the next night, I went to sleep. I was like, damn, like, I didn't build it. I don't know how to do it. I woke up and my dad said that Santa came back and finished it. So just an iconic kind of, story right there. And this is like why a lot of people can't sell Legos, because growing up, this is just so sentimental. And again, it retailed for 40 bucks. I think it's selling for like 130, maybe 140 actually. A really nice set. So taking a look at the next set, this was the first set that I just remember I was begging for it. Like a lot of those other sets, I was only like 5 years old, so I wasn't really sitting there like, I need this, I need that. I was just waking up on Christmas being like, oh, all right, cool. This one, Battle of Endor, 2009. Unfortunately, too, this is all I have from it. I actually sold the glider for like 25 bucks last week, which was pretty cool, Not a minifigure I necessarily need. And yeah, the actual walker, just couldn't find the pieces to. Speaking of which, my favorite set of all time, I'm gonna put that on the screen right now, is the one Star Wars set I can't find. And it's the most expensive and most iconic. Hey, this is kind of lit, I'm not gonna lie. For $20, think about what you get now. For $20 back then, we had Anakin's Starfighter with Anakin. He's bald though, so I don't know where his hairpiece is. But then we also have a Vulture droid. So you got two ships for only 20 bucks at Target. Just a sick set. And again, this is selling for like 60 bucks used if you do want to pick it up. I think the minifigure is like 15. But yeah, just a really cool set. I don't even think it's worth doing too much about it. I mean, you know what it is. What is this? Like, what is this? Really? So this was actually, let me look this up. I think it's 4478. It is, cool. Geonosian fighter. But like when you really look at it, this is from like 2002. It retailed for $20, 170 pieces. But it's just so outdated. It's just insane. I remember looking at the instructions last week because I actually built all of this within the past month. I got my Lego bins and just, built what I could. This set in specific, like the instructions were just, like, it's crazy. I'm gonna show you what they look like. That's how you know it is truly retro Star Wars. And there is a nostalgia factor that makes this set cool. Like, this might be my oldest set that I have. And again, 24 years old. So with the second to last set, in my opinion, the best armored assault tank that Star Wars has ever released. And that is 8018. Yeah, it just looks sick, man. Retail for 50 bucks back in 2009. It's 410 pieces. Came with Yoda, came with a clone trooper. And it's perfect. It really does look amazing. The way it spins, you guys see that. Like, yeah, it's sick. I'm not gonna lie. It's got this part that goes up and down. Got a little hatch that opens up. And then you can actually pull out the back right here. And it's got like one of the little, I guess like land speeder type things for the droid. So just a really cool set. You can open it up right there. Yeah, I like it. That's gonna be my new caption. Just, is the set good? What's my opinion on it? I like it. That's it. Yeah, so this is from 2005. Retailed for under $10. Came with a minifigure that's now worth $40 alone. And again, just a really nice walker. Obviously, they're going to be oversized, But you got a printed piece. It's a Kashyyyk walker, you know? And yeah, 110 pieces. Sealed, this is now going for like $120. I wish Star Wars would release more Kashyyyk. And, you know, honestly, ending off this video, I want to show you guys what I'm currently working on because that's where I think this channel is going to really blow up. Obviously, we need to change the studio, make the camera a little clearer so you guys can really see what I'm talking about without the camera cuts. But yeah, let's just get into that. So you guys can see, like, this is how it looks. Again, just a crazy situation. We have some of the newer stuff like, you know, the TIE Fighter. We got the Star Wars logo, you know, and then obviously we got a Jango Fett right there and his starship. But you guys can see over here, I'm building a huge turbo tank. Like, this is massive. And that's because the ones that you could buy, the $160 one, it ain't it. So this is my first time trying to build something, so it's not gonna be perfect, but I figure it's great practice. And then one thing I'm seemingly pretty decent at is, you know, kind of building really natural looking. We have a waterfall piece, which that's sick. But yeah, I'm gonna fill up this entire table with a Battle of Kashyyyk. So I have this spider droid. I might take off this leg and then have him coming out the water. And yeah, it's just sick, man. So this is really the setup. Hey, shout out to Travis, man. If you know, you know. This man just gave it to me. He said his ex bought him this, so he's like, bad juju, take it. But we also have like a Millennium Falcon and just stuff like that. And then lastly, before we get on out of here, these are some of the minifigures. So I mean, just, you guys see, like, all piled together. It's pretty cool. This is Anakin. Yeah, see, like, just so random. And then I actually sold the Gonk droid to the, what's it called? The Sandcrawler. That one actually sold for like $85, which is just insane. It's a sick minifigure, but for someone who's trying to get back into, you know, Lego Star Wars and building mocks, to sell that one minifigure and then be able to afford the TIE Fighter with $20 extra, you know what I'm saying? It was a no-brainer. We got some gold bricks. Yeah, actually buy and sell on eBay. So that series is gonna come out soon. All right, y'all. So that pretty much wraps up this video. Again, I'm trying to just like slowly ease into the channel, let you guys know who I am and kind of why, you know, I got back into Lego, and then of course like what sets I got, because, you know, it matters. It's always cool seeing other people's collections. I actually met this dude at the bar and he was like, yo, I'm kind of into Lego. So I ended up going to his house and he had like the UCS AT-AT. I think he has like a 4,000, maybe $5,000 Lego collection. So that's going to be a video. He already told me, he's like, dude, come on over. He's like, we can record a video where, you know, you just showcase all my sets. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, other than that, appreciate you guys so much for watching, making my dreams come true for real. And yeah, just stay blessed. Love y'all. Peace. Out. Sheesh.